This thing recording? So I got the, oh boy. I finished the doohickey and I got the thingamabobber done and connected to the yoke. Pretty much, long story short. So it's right next to the, whatchamacallit. I'm like a magic with the edges, going like, shit, what was I gonna say again? Cut. So got the engine built, and then Big Mac was down the day before yesterday, I think it was. And we fit the engine to the car. We got the engine in the car. The headers wouldn't fit. There was a couple of things, you know, we had to work out. But anyways, got the engine in the car. Yesterday, I apologize. Sorry I didn't record because yesterday was a hectic day. But anyways, yesterday I got the headers to fit. I put the rad back in it. I worked out some of the plumbing stuff for the heater hoses and the tranny lines and stuff like that. I'll just show you. I think the engine looks really nice in the car. Actually, really suits it. Yeah, it came out nice. I have the headers on that side. I have the headers on this side. I'll try to show you how close it is. It's kind of crazy when you, it's hard to see down there, but you can see literally like just touches it. So that's it. Got the Holley bolted on. Everything's bolted up. So next, I'll get the transmission bolted up in the car. It's just a C6 transmission. It's just freshened up. When I say freshened up, it was just cleaned and painted. There was nothing wrong with it when it came out of the car. We are going to fit a B&M shift kit, which I have here. It's basically have to take the valve body apart, change some of the ball bearings, and basically it's like a new plate that redirects the fluid everywhere. But yeah, it's just a regular C6 transmission. It has, you can tell here, just to show you, usually the C6s have this, whereas the FMX or the C4 is different. I don't remember what the difference is, but I know it doesn't have that. So that much I can tell you. But yeah, so now I'll put the car up. I'll start putting the transmission in the car, and yeah. So I got the transmission in it, but obviously my luck, I have to take the transmission back out because the starter clocks into the flywheel and that needs to be adjusted. So with the C6 transmission, the bell housing doesn't allow you to see how it clocks into the flywheel. But anyways, I'll leave that for later, move on to other things. I got the, I'll show you here. I got the Hyperspark coil mounted. I made the little coil lead. I got the Hyperspark module mounted. That has two-step on it, and I mean, of course, if you have two-step, I mean, why would you not use two-step? It's two-step if you, I don't know, it's basically like a launch control sort of thing, but it just sounds amazing. So and yeah, I'm probably gonna mount the wiring harness for the sniper back there somewhere. That's usually where I do them. I'll just show you here. This is basically, so the EFI comes with, this is a harness that comes with the actual EFI kit. So this, but usually you would use whatever ignition system you have, but he bought the Sniper Hyperspark. So this loom is basically that loom, but additional added on for all the Hyperspark stuff. There's a couple things you have to wire. This is the fuel pump, and you have like, constant power and ignition of the ground and stuff. I'm gonna have to extend the leads for, I'm probably gonna extend this one for the module because it's obviously not gonna fit because I've spread them so far apart. And I'm gonna mount, not too sure where to mount this. Last time on the the 70 Mustang, I mounted it up here, but the problem with this is it kind of blocks, you can't really see the fuel gauge. So I think we're gonna do something over here. I think that's where I mounted it on the other 72 that I did last time. So he got the dash in it and the pillar trim and the head trim. Actually, he put the chrome, last night he was here, he put the chrome around the windscreen. I think it's nice. It's actually pretty cool. It's a lot of chrome, but it looks nice. And then we have the B&M shift kit, which I need to do. And then that's the filter and gasket kit for the C6. These are all the window switches that I'm gonna modify, because obviously the old ones were some of them worked, some of them didn't. So we got these new ones, and I'm gonna try to Dremel out the surround to make them fit in there. It might look a little bit odd, but then again, I mean, this is a 72 Mustang with fuel injection, and probably has the engine add-ons are more modern than anything. So I'm hoping the fan will show up next week. He got like a big nice chrome fan. Aeroflow in Australia do these chrome electric fans that are pretty nice. He wants it. He's Big Mac's very bling bling, so that's what he's looking for. But yeah, next I will start fitting the Holley EFI loom and hopefully get it wired up. I need to try to finish all the wiring inside the car so we can finish fitting the interior. And once I get everything wired up and ran inside the car, get it wired, we still have some parts coming from America. There's the guide plates for the rockers, which then I'm gonna have to set the rockers. There's a couple other things I can't remember, breathers, air cleaner, and stuff like that. Another thing I wanted to show you real quick was just with these Holley snipers. So basically what happens is, if you look at it, this is your front butterfly, that's your rear butterfly. As soon as you go to open them, all four, so the front two and the rear, all four butterflies inside, they open at the same time. And what happens is that where this bolt is where Holley wants you to put the throttle cable. Well, the problem with that is that when you have four butterflies opening together and it's so short from the pivot point, it usually travels like from here to here, about where that screw is. It's a very short distance. And what happens is that you get like a very switchy, it's kind of undrivable, characteristic. So what I do is I make this little extension plate and bring it out here, and then obviously the point of travel from here to here is longer, which then creates like a more progressive throttle. It makes it nicer to drive. So that's just something I just wanted to say. I've fit a lot of these kits, and this is something that I've always come across. The first one that I did, we left it for a while, and then it was a manual car, which is very difficult to drive like that, because you touch the throttle and you're 50% open. So just, yeah, you make a little bracket. It's probably, I don't know, it's about 1.75 inches, maybe 2 inches long, and then point it out the front to get your travel distance longer, and it just seems to work out. So it works. That's always worked for me. So I worked out some things with the loom, and I have to reroute. I'm gonna have to cut up the loom that came with the Holley kit and kind of reroute it myself, because obviously I place things differently. The loom, you could just like run the loom in the car where you want it and then put the components where they fit and plug in, but obviously we don't want to make it custom and as nice as possible, so I have to change some things. I mounted the relays over there, and basically the power and ground is going to go to this side, to the starter solenoid, and then the ignition trigger is going to come over into the factory loom that we fitted. And I have to put the fuel pump through the firewall. I'm actually going to bypass the fuel pump for the automotive loom that we put in it, and actually run it off the Holley kit because it's timed off of RPM. I also have the two-step I have to run in, and the tachometer, or the RPM gauge. So there's a couple things. Obviously I'm gonna have to lengthen the distributor loom because it's not gonna reach, And then obviously the loom for the Hyperspark module that reaches here, and I need to get it over there. So I'm going to take the loom back out. I have it, the main part of the loom with the fuses and relays mounted where I want it, but obviously I need to change some things. So we'll take it back out of the car and unravel it, get it on the bench, and then run all the wires the way that we want to have them ran. So I got the loom laid out here, and obviously I need to get, so basically these wires out to that side, and I need to do some of these wires for this 10 pin. There's some that have to go that way, some that have to go that way. So I'm gonna break this loom all apart and try to redirect it in the way that it works for me. And yeah, I'll do a time lapse so you guys can see what happens, and hopefully we can get it done soon. It shouldn't be too hard. It's just like it's a bunch of tape, and then they just have this loom braid on it, so it shouldn't be too hard. I think I might get rid of, not too sure, I might get rid of this plug, because obviously this one just goes through and comes out to this one. I think I might actually take that out and then just put in the bare one with the out of the other kit. So yeah, we'll get it going now. So I got the loom the way that I want it. You can see I redirected everything. That plug, I took the old one out, and then I put that new one from the other loom in, and then I have my fan triggers, and then I have my power, my ground, that goes to my coil. And then this is the module, which I need to figure out the lengths of that. So I'm gonna put it back in the car now and figure out how long I need to lengthen this and how long I need to sleeve this to go inside the car, and then take it back out and modify it again. And yeah, that's the next step. done the way I wanted it and rerouted. This is what goes to the coil. This is your main power and ground, and your 2 fan triggers. That's the main fuse, that's the main relay, the fuel pump relay. This is the 10 pin that goes in the back of the EFI. That's the main plug that goes back in the EFI. That's the wire that was lengthened for the distributor. That's your ignition trigger, and your, what is it again? That's your tack. So that's the tack for the standard instrument panel. Then you have your fuel pump, and this is the 2-step trigger, and this is the loom that was lengthened for the module. So yeah, I'm gonna fit the loom now. I'm gonna run it in the car, and then I still need to hook up this loom that we did from the harness to the Holley kit harness that I modified. And hopefully that will be most of the engine side done. Still need to wire in the fan and stuff, but we're getting there. Yeah, I guess I will start fitting the loom. So I got the loom finished. I got it fitted to the car. You see here, that's the the fan relay. I got the alternator side wired up. Got everything mounted back there. Those are just the fuel lines, which I need to fit. Goes over to the module, but in typical my luck, so basically every time I plug the Hyperspark in, the main fuse blows. So basically I checked for shorts to ground, I checked my power and my pin outputs, and everything is as it should be. So I'm not too sure. I think I'm gonna call Holley today. I have a weird suspicion that the Hyperspark module box is bad, because I've pinned everything, I've checked everything, I've cross-referenced it with their wiring loom schematic, and everything is as it should be. Obviously, I thought it was my problem because I extended the loom and changed some things, but I went back over all that, and the wires are just extended. And like I said, I pinned everything out, and everything has power where it should be, ground where it should be, and there's no short to ground. So yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. I have a feeling that module box is faulty, which, you know, could be. I'm assuming it's a high quality Chinese product, just in a fancy cover. But anyways, so yeah, I'll get that done today or at some point. We got the carpet in it and the seat belts, so the interior's somewhat coming together. Today I'm gonna do, that's another thing I need to do today, is the 2-step tie in the fuel pump trigger, and then put the center console. You can see where that little square is. That's where I'm gonna put the ignition and start switch. I don't know if I have room for the USB port there. And then where that little clock goes in there, that's where we're gonna mount the Holley sniper display. So that display right there. And yeah, so I guess I'm gonna, at 2 o'clock, I'll call Holley, because that's what time they open, our time, and see what they say, and hopefully I can get an answer. Well, I was on the phone with Holley for an hour and a half, and I did all the diagnostic procedures that I already did, but I obviously had to do it on the phone with them, and we came to the same conclusion that there's something faulty with the CD box internally. So Holley's gonna send out a new one, and that's pretty much it. We have also parts for the engine on the way. We have stainless on the way, the electric fans on the way. I have to put an order in for oils, and the auxiliary belt and this, that, and other. So we're just at that stage of the build where it's, you know, waiting and you know, things are coming and stuff like that. So I have a load of projects that are piling up, not projects, but small jobs, some engine builds and some other cars I have to do some stuff too. So I think we're just gonna take a break on this for the moment and yeah, try to catch up on some other things while some parts pile up for this and start showing up. We can go back on this. We have Big Mac ended up getting a guy to do the convertible top because me and him, you don't even want to know. Me and him tried to have a look at it and it's just, yeah, it's not going to happen. So he has a guy that's what he does. He's going to come out and fit the convertible top. And that's really it. There's obviously some things I can do here and there, but I mean, I think sometimes situations like this, it's best to walk away and come back to it. And like I said, I have other things I have to do. I hope you guys enjoy the content so far. You know, there'll be a lot more to this build to come. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. What was I gonna say again? I can't even remember. How do people do this in one take? Jesus, I can't even remember what I did yesterday. So yeah, the spark box, the CD box, this doohickey. Anyways. Yeah, so Big Mac is gonna get the guy to, yeah, the convertible top thing done and on.